ऑल राइट सो वेलकम बैक एवरीवन और एक बार फिर हम लाइव हो चुके हैं क्रिकेट डायरीज पर और फॉर अ चेंज निखिल भाई आज नहीं है हमारे साथ बट वी हैव डुपली सो आई थिंक वी विल टॉक अबाउट मेनी एक्साइटिंग स्टफ सो वेलकम बैक डुपली आई थिंक लास्ट टाइम हम कनेक्ट हुए थे कब
I have no memory. It's been a few months.
यस आई थिंक कोई टेस्ट सीरीज ही चल रही थी और समथिंग
Must have been the Ashes.
Ashes, हाँ. We were supposed to connect on Ben Stokes' retirement, but we couldn't. So again, welcome back. So अभी काफी I think almost सारी एशियन टीम्स टेस्ट मैचेस खेल रही हैं बारिंग अफगानिस्तान. तो उस पर बात करेंगे वन बाय वन बट वी विल स्टार्ट विद इंडिया वर्सेस श्रीलंका. सो अभी इंडिया ने पहला मैच तो अपना जीत लिया कन्विंसिंगली. कल से सेकंड मैच स्टार्ट होने वाला है. सो हाउ यू look performance of players in especially spinners or batters in first game?
Very impressive. क्या कहते हैं? On all facets of the game, they looked very good. The standouts obviously were Suthar and Padikkal looked very good with the bat against spin. He looked a bit shaky against the Pacers and in conditions that weren't particularly seam friendly, but that's an issue for another day, and it's not, but something that's particularly relevant for the moment.
Yeah. So and अभी बहुत चल रहा है सोशल मीडिया पे एक कि कुलदीप के लिए जो टू बी ऑनेस्ट मुझे लगता है a little bit harsh है क्योंकि एक तो काफ़ी गैप्स हो गए हैं उसके मैचेस में भी और गिवन हिज पास्ट रिकॉर्ड थोड़ा सा हार्श हो रहा है. एंड एज यू मेंशन सुथर जब ऑलरेडी एक्सेप्शनल परफॉर्म कर रहा है तो इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल कि सारे बॉलर्स इक्वली और इवन सिमिलर रेशियो में विकेट ले पाए. तो हाउ डू यू थिंक दैट वेदर इज एनी रियल प्रॉब्लम विद कुलदीप और we are judging up too quickly?
No, so there are real problems with him biomechanically and in terms of the work he's able to put on the ball and what he is delivering. There are issues there, but these are the sort of issues that these are not unrectifiable. You shouldn't go forward thinking that this is some sort of terminal decline and something he can't bounce back from. These are certainly things he can work on, and especially because India have now hired a specialist spin bowling coach. Bhautule has come into the system. This is something they should be actively working on, and so it's concerning, but it's not something that should keep you up at night. Essentially,
Yeah, because I have seen few people even going to that extent that Saransh Jain should replace him.
well, I think Gambhir in his mind might be going to that extent, but let's see tomorrow.
Yeah, so there is an outside chance even you also think.
Oh yeah, there's more than an outside chance. I would say 30-40% chance he might be replaced.
Okay, and from Sri Lanka perspective, how do you think? Because recent years में, not recent years actually, I think almost a decade, काफी underwhelming performance रहा है उनका across all formats, but मतलब वो ऐसी टीम है जो उनके लिए होम नहीं है, वो फोर्ट्रेस नहीं है. तो कोई भी मतलब इंग्लैंड तो क्लीन स्वीप ही करता है, अभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी क्लीन स्वीप करके गए. इंडिया से आई थिंक वो लास्ट वही मेंडिस के डेब्यू के बाद जीते ही नहीं है. तो उनके लिए क्या है क्रूशियल, क्योंकि अब उनके जो पहले से प्लेयर इंजर्ड थे उनके, निसांका एंड मेंडिस, नाउ चांदीमल इज आल्सो इंजर्ड.
Yeah.
So things become more difficult, or you will expect a bounce back?
So I think the first test match was pretty much over as soon as India won the toss.
Yeah.
As soon as India won the toss, this Sri Lankan team is not good enough to beat this Indian team. No matter what happens. Even if the pitch is a turner and it's taking turn, I would still say that's pretty much game over there. तो क्या कहते हैं? So the thing with Sri Lanka is, since about 2015, when they started to fall off the map from world cricket as a force across formats, Test cricket for a long time still remained their strongest format, and white ball cricket is where they had their sharpest decline. And so the reason for that, one of the core reasons for that is Sri Lanka never struggled to produce FC batsmen. So first class batsmen, Sri Lanka is not struggling to produce them. And even if they're not producing absolute world beating talents, they're still producing players who are competent, high 30s, averaging test match batsmen who are very competent in Asian conditions. So, for example, even now they have produced Sonal Dinusha,
Yeah.
they have um, what's his
One
face? Just a couple of years ago, Kamendu Mendes came through,
one
and
Pasindu
he's
guy also
actually
is there. He's also very promising.
sorry who?
He, I'm not sure about his surname. Pasindu something. He played
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. Surya Bandara.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
they're not struggling to produce
batters.
long format batsmen. Their primary issue is how potent their bowling attack is in Test match cricket, and they go through phases where, so for example, from 2015 to 2018, they still had Rangana Herath,
Hmm.
and Rangana Herath was still effective at that point of time. He tried to waver off, or sorry, taper off near the end, and that's how in 2018 England were able to take a series off them. But between 2015 to 2017, he beat South Africa 2-0.
Australia.
He beat Australia 3-0, and he took a test match off India.
I
And
think he
then
was
when
one of the rare bowler who I think outclassed Stephen Smith in his prime.
mm, yeah, yeah, he gave him some hard time in that series.
Yeah.
Smith only scored 100 in the last game of that series, right?
Yes, yes.
On and that was the best pitch of that series at the SSC. At I am I correct in saying that was the SSC, the
Uh,
third test?
I can't remember that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was the test match where Sri Lanka were 25 for 5 in the first innings. Then
Yes, and
Chandimal and
this
DDS.
DDS was I think this was debut game,
The debut series. I'm not
debut
sure it was
series,
debut game.
debut series.
Yeah,
29 for five, and then
they batted the whole day.
yes, 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 yes. And first game also, second inning kind of similar thing. Then this Kusal Mendes played a similar
Correct.
inning.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Uh,
yeah, so I think after Herath, they haven't even this Prabhat Jayasuriya guy, on average, he's picking wickets for fun, but
Correct. So when
his
Prabhat first came onto the scene, Sri Lanka were really struggling with their spin bowling resources. They had that guy named Lasit Embuldenia, and he
Embulden,
was quite a middling spinner.
yeah,
Very low pace, not a very high amount of rip off the ball, and so too slow for modern spin bowling standards, basically.
mm,
And so he started to taper off, and teams started to win for fun in Sri Lanka. But then Prabhat came in, and Prabhat, for a period of time, he was very sharp. He was tall. He got bounce, and he had a very nasty one that would stay, that would come on with the arm.
mm,
And so for a while, he started to make Sri Lanka a fortress again. But even he has, because of the workload he has gone through and how much they've expected of him, even he has fallen off. His speeds have decreased. I think his speeds have decreased a bit. Um, he may not be putting the same amount of work on the ball as he once did. And so, once again, Sri Lanka, the bowling resources have really fallen off. And once the bowling resources have fallen off from a already very one man dependent attack, then you don't really have much to do in Test match cricket, because Test match cricket, home dominance, creating a fortress at home, being competitive abroad, it's all driven by the bowling attack. It's no
yeah,
matter how competent your batting is. And Sri Lanka, as I mentioned, have one of the more competent batting units in the world.
yes,
It doesn't matter if your bowling is nowhere.
correct. I think the this recent series they couldn't bowl out Bangladesh in last day, fifth day, in Gaul itself, I guess. तो
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
गेम वेयर मतलब इन रिसेंट टाइम दैट पूरे 5 दिन गेम गया फिर भी रिजल्ट नहीं निकला.
yeah. That was one of the rare draws at Gaul, right?
Yes, and उसके
The
पहले आई थिंक फ्यू सीजंस बैक पाकिस्तान ऑलमोस्ट चेस 350. So
Pakistan did chase 360 or something against them in
yes,
Gaul
yes, yes,
also.
Abdullah Shafiq one. So
Yeah.
so that itself is, I mean, Pakistan, they are going through I think one of their worst phases. So
Uh-huh.
उन्होंने they Sri Lanka couldn't beat them. So I think उससे at least in fast bowling department, uh, they had some hope. Like this guy is pretty good as Fernando.
He's industrious. He's good enough, and he tries his best. But
Yes.
he's not like an exceptional talent. He's not
No,
a
good.
top tier
Good. I
talent.
mean,
Yeah,
compared to previous Sri Lanka pace bowlers.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I think after Chaminda was or barring Malinga because he didn't play too much red ball cricket. So uske baad, with all due respect to Lakmal and all, but he's the guy who really brings something.
yeah.
Okay, so
Peak
comment
luck for a brief period. Peak Lucknow was
Lakmal.
really good. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Lakmal was kind of, I mean, like how you could say uh, Keema Roach. So
Mm-hmm.
uska
With
light,
bounce.
yeah, light
Yeah,
version.
yeah.
He was there. So this comment drawback of moving on from Kuldeep is that you don't know whether Saransh will able to deliver, and especially before BGTV should avoid ending his career.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go to Saransh.
Yes.
What I saw of Saransh in the warm up game was not impressive enough for me to forego any potential Kuldeep comebacks. So
Mm,
even if I have a bad test match here from Kuldeep,
yep.
Saransh will not give me the value through the future to sort of make it viable. I mean, I understand you didn't dismiss the left hand batsman in this particular game, but
Mm.
you can find ways around that. And even in this test match, you figured out that you have a particular option with Kuldeep coming around the wicket,
Yes.
which
Yes. Yes.
which I independently um, before KK mentioned this, because he also picked up on it and he then did a deep dive research about Kuldeep's biomechanics.
Mm.
I was I independently noticed that like his he was getting through his action a bit better from the around the wicket angle,
Yeah. But
because
public perception is that if he's going round the wicket, then he must be struggling, which is not correct.
uh, uh, n- no. So I wanted to make a post about this. It's actually a bit of both. So to me, it clearly looked like the sort of plan that a team comes
Yep.
up with overnight, where um, where they have a struggling player and they're trying to figure out what's the way to get the best out of them. And that was the sort of plan that a team management comes up with overnight. And it's also a plan that was specifically tailored for the batsman he was facing up against, because the Sri Lankan batsmen really love to sweep.
Mm.
And so by coming from that angle, you're tempting them into the sweep while also allowing Kuldeep to put more revs on the ball by getting through his action better. And so it's a double what's it called? It's a
Double edged.
double benefit on both ends. You're getting best from your player and you're challenging the opposition.
So there's another comment from Amit Dubey. कुलदीप ड्रॉप होगा जीजी राउडी राठौड़ वो जो नहीं बोलता वो डेफिनेटली करता है बट आई थिंक थोड़ा मतलब मजाक मजाक में ज़्यादा क्रिटिसाइज कर देते हैं जीजी को आई थिंक उसका ज़्यादा ऑब्सेशन है विद बॉलर्स हु कैन बैट सो विद
Yeah.
सुथर ऑलरेडी दैट प्रॉब्लम इज सॉल्व्ड सो नंबर
Yeah,
8
but that problem is never solved for him. There are never enough bowlers who can bat for him.
या बट आई थिंक फॉर इन दैट मैटर सारांश इज नॉट जो मतलब इतना भी ज़्यादा आपको कुछ ऑप्शन प्रोवाइड कर देगा
Yeah, he's what, an early 20s bat in first class cricket.
yes
Yeah,
yes yes
no.
So this the previous comment from a sports fan, I'm totally agreed that since BGT is coming and even Kuldeep is kind of bowler that you would want him in overseas also.
Yeah.
So I would like to quote what Ravi Shastri said hypocritically that he was our number one overseas bowler and उसने एक भी मैच में चांस नहीं दिया उसे.
Uh-huh. Uh, you know what? Suthar would make a very good overseas bowler too, because of the overspin he gets, the dip and the bounce. Those are the sort of characteristics that do well overseas. And he's got iron control of length, so that's not going to be an issue either. He's hard to sweep. Foreign batsmen love to sweep.
Yeah,
So all of those things play into him, and he can bat a bit.
yeah,
So I'm really excited by the prospect of Gambhir at least considering Suthar for foreign test matches.
yeah. And in recent times, I think uh, we can say that's quite a good time for spinners overseas as well. Not for India, but other teams is also doing pretty well.
Uh, uh, ex- except for what did you say? I didn't hear you.
No, I said that in recent times,
Uh huh.
it's a quite good time for spinners in overseas games. That
Mm-hmm.
काफी मतलब compared to 8 to 10 years back, अभी सही कर रहे हैं वो overseas में भी.
Mm-hmm.
तो if
A
you
few
have,
drier pitches in England. Yeah.
yeah, and the बैटर्स भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा एग्रेसिव हो गए हैं विथ सो कॉल्ड लैक ऑफ टेक्निकलिटी एंड ऑल, तो
Uh huh.
उसका भी थोड़ा बेनिफिट है.
Mm-hmm.
बट न्यूजीलैंड इट्स कंप्लीट डिफरेंट बॉल गेम, सो उसका तभी देखेंगे.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Kamendo? He started off on such a high. So the problem with starting off such a high that you're bound to get these lows. But yeah, talent is there because even before coming to test debut, he was averaging I think in 60s in first class. So उसका और निसांका का 60 का एवरेज था आई गेस इन फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट में. So as Dupli mentioned that there is no dearth of batting talent in Sri Lanka. So Kamindu के पास talent है, but let's see. At least I expect that he will come good.
Yeah, no, he's clearly the most talented of them, and honestly, I do still think he's a world class talent.
Yes, yes, yes.
He's like a high 40s, 50 average batsman.
I mean the innings
Um,
he played in that I think New Zealand or where
Against New Zealand, you mean?
against New Zealand, right? And even in England 2024 series,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
losing 4 5 wickets, the shots, pull, and everything.
Correct. So the thing with him, for example, when you watch him is, if you compare him to Sonal Dinusha, for example, Sonal Dinusha is good versus spin, but you can clearly see he's limited and doesn't quite have the expressive range that Kamindu has
Yeah,
versus
but
pace
he's
bowling.
kind of work in progress. He's not.
Oh no, I'm saying just if you contrast them where they are
Yes, yes,
currently. Yeah.
correct, correct.
So Kamin, and I'm not sure. I think Sonal will probably improve versus pace bowling. So I compared Sonal Dinusha with a Pakistani batsman called Shauz Shakil. They both have a similar height. They both like to sweep the ball. Some of their forward defensive shots. There was one forward defensive shot where, so for example, Saud Shakir, he loves to sort of lean into his forward defensive and really smother the ball and make
Mm.
an exaggerated move, really like go forward with it. Sonal Dinusha did it a couple of times, and I was like, this is just Saud Shakil. What Saud Shakil has is he has a bit more
Ironically, South Shakil also got exceptional start of his career in
correct,
subcontinent, but he struggled a bit when he went
correct,
to
and he
Australia.
also started down the order and had to move up and all of those sort of things.
Yeah.
And so Saud Shakil, the difference is that Saud Shakil has a bit more extra cover range than Sonal Dinusha has.
Mm.
So
And
what was I saying?
temperament wise, also, I think both are comparable, that both have calm and
Yeah,
composed head.
that's what I'm saying. None of so the thing with these smaller test nations like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, even
Small.
New Zealand for that matter, none of them are struggling to produce batsmen who have first class temperament.
Yeah.
They all have first class temperament, and all of their games are geared towards first class sort of play where it's like softer hands that one of the mutuals was observing, softer hands, and like all of those sort of first class attributes. They have that. um, whether they're absolute world class, it depends from person to person, which I think Kamindu is. So if you look at Kamindu's back foot game versus pace bowling, the way he was able to pull Prasidh Krishna off a back of a length ball for a six, which the commentators thought was a very audacious shot. He hit
Yeah.
it with the breeze, so it was a good percentage shot too. So that's sort of talent that not many have, or that sort of all-round game that Kamindu has versus some of the other Sri Lankan batsmen.
True.
Obviously, there are a couple of things that Kamindu has in his game that are a slight weakness. So, for example, if you come from around the wicket angle that England discovered versus him, come around the wicket and target him in the channel outside off, because he's an aggressive batsman, you can nick him off.
Mm.
He likes to feel bat and ball, likes to drive on the up. That's one mode of dismissal that he can perhaps tighten up on. And the other thing with Kamindu is he is such a talented stroke maker, and no one talks about him that much because no one talks about Sri Lankan cricket that much. Is that I have noticed he has sort of a semi Harry Brook problem where he is a bit too aggressive and too proactive at times, and he could sort of temper it down, bring it back. So, for example, one of the things that happens with Sri Lankan cricket is they have very good. test match batting lineups. Not very good, but good enough test match batting lineups. But they'll always have these occasional horror collapses. And what happens during these horror collapses is Kamindu doesn't help himself because he comes out overly aggressive in some of these collapses.
Hmm.
And instead of sort of playing through a period where a bowler is on top or a team is in with a certain amount of momentum and he can sort of calm the other end down, he also becomes overly jumpy, trying too many things,
Yep.
trying to step out too often, trying to sweep too often, or trying to go for too many aggressive strokes. So if you see this particular test match, Sri Lanka in the first innings they went through a collapse against the new ball,
Yeah.
and he came out and started playing sweep shots, trying to use his feet versus Kuldeep Yadav, trying to drive, by using his feet through extra cover, and that's how
Hmm.
Gill, I think, this got him right. That's how he
Yep.
got out, caught at extra cover against Gill. So that's the sort of thing that he could bring a touch more maturity to, or a touch more sort of temper to.
But I think
He seems a bit too frenetic when he
this is
goes
how
through
he
those
plays.
pieces. Yeah, yeah. No, no, he's a
Like the
naturally
same
aggressive
with Brook
batsman.
also. I think if
Yeah,
I read one post few days back from Raghav or something that with Brook everyone complains that if he uses some of brain, but I think this is not a bug. This is his feature.
yeah,
So
yeah.
same goes with Commando. That if they stop playing like that, then I don't think they will succeed.
Yeah, they're at the point of time in their careers where they're not young enough that this is something that can be molded very easily. So they're both what, 26, 27. So
Yes,
at that point of age, having been in the system for 3 or 4 years, it's just an itch in their brain that it will be very hard for them to completely remove at this point of time in their careers.
correct. अब तो सर विव भी है टीम में। विव तो काफी टाइम से है टीम में, ऑलमोस्ट 50 50 टेस्ट खेल लिए उन्होंने। Ripley AI is correct. I'm not sure किस बात के लिए कह रहे हैं, but Ripley always correct. Commando in top five is not working. All his success came at 6 7. So do you
That's
think?
that could be true, but I think he has the game to succeed in the
Yes,
top
yes,
five.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct. And you cannot bat him at 6 7 all the time,
He's
especially
the
after
Yeah, he's the most productive batsman over the last few years. He has to bat in the top five.
Matthew's retirement and like to some
Chandimal is
extent this
also going to
already
be on the way
Chandimal.
out. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. साउथ शकील से कंपेयर कर दिया सोनल देशुसा से घोर बेइज्जती है समटाइम्स द ब्लाइंड हेट्रेड फॉर पाकिस्तान कम्स सो नो दैट कि भाई इतना भी बुरा नहीं है साउथ शकील so he did played some double century inning was quite good 208 या कितना बनाया था उसने
Against Sri Lanka, right?
yes
Yeah.
yes yes
That's the innings I was referring to when I thought of that comparison.
yeah okay so India Sri Lanka we had talked so from India point of view you expect anything in this game batting wise.
Batting wise, they increased the sweep shots in the second innings as the pitch got slower. They might bring even more sweep shots in this particular test match, depending on how the pitch is. I expect another good batting display, hopefully. I would prefer if batsmen don't swing across the turn that much without getting to the pitch of the ball. Um, what else? Yeah, no, nothing
So
much to say.
any individual
I,
performance
I would I
you
would want Gill to get some big runs. Gill
yeah
and Jaiswal.
Gill and Jaiswal yes both are I mean problem with social media critics that even few innings failure brings all knives out
Yeah.
सारे रन पे व्हाट इफ लग जाता है कि वो तो फ्लैट विकेट था ये तो ऐसा था वो तो ऐसा था and ironically I could be wrong but if I remember correctly in recent times the Sri Lanka के wicket the flattest wickets across all conditions सबसे ज्यादा रन
Yeah.
वहां पर आए हैं
Yeah.
लेकिन इस सीरीज से पहले ऐसा परसेप्शन बन गया था कि अरे प्रभात जयसूर्या को कैसे खेलेंगे ये तो
I always maintained there was zero chance India was losing this series.
हम्म,
Like people became too negative about the prospects and the quality of this Indian team. The only chance was a turning pitch and India loses the toss. That
yeah
is that tomorrow again is the only thing that can change things, where
Yeah,
it becomes a
but
contest.
again you will back Indian spinners outperform Sri Lankan spinner 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, it becomes a contest if India loses the toss on a
Yes,
turnout.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, ओके सो इंडिया श्रीलंका का कर लिया अब अभी ऑन गोइंग जो चल रहा है इस पे बात कर लेते हैं थोड़ी ऑस्ट्रेलिया बांग्लादेश की तो फर्स्ट गेम तो मतलब ऐतिहासिक हो ही गया यू वॉच टुडेज गेम
Yeah, I did.
या सो व्हाट वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस
Uh, I liked the conditions.
First of all, tell if you because I know when you watch you were heavily active on social media. I was not active on social media for last 2 days. So कोई
Uh-huh.
ऐसा कुछ आया था क्या ट्वीट और स्पेशली विद इंग्लैंड पाकिस्तान गेम ऑल्सो क्योंकि जब विकेट्स गिरते हैं तो दो चार ऐसे जरूर आ जाते हैं कि अगर ऐसा मैच
What if
एशिया
in
में हुआ
Asia?
तो अभी क्या
No,
था
they,
कि
they, they were a couple of tweets. Yeah.
yeah just every time yeah you were saying something
No, I like the conditions. I like the conditions in the first game too. So the first game, the conditions were, to summarize it, because I like to keep summaries of new grounds and venues and how they behave. First game was sort of an even pitch, even bounce, even carry, medium bounce, medium carry, and with a decent amount of seam movement on the first day. And that seam movement died very quickly in the first two sessions. I
yeah
mean, by the second session itself, I was like, the first test match where Australia lost that game was not
yes
the
yes
first session, it was the second session. The second session was actually quite a decent batting session. Carey was in, Smith
hmm.
was at the crease, Webster was to come, and they have a competent tail. That's where they had to bat through the rest of the day.
129 for 4 they were I think at some time
Yeah, they had to bat through the rest of the day. They would have been fine. That the second session was the killer, not the first session.
yeah
The first session was in those conditions, that's a fair outcome. The second session is where they lost that match.
yeah
Um,
but still
okay.
all credit to Bangladesh. I was
Oh,
seeing
of course, yeah,
Raghav shared some. I will talk to you personally about one guy so that still people were like undermining Bangladesh performance in first game. That अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने उस मैच में भी टॉस जीत के बॉलिंग ले ली होती तो हो सकता है आज वाला ही होता रिजल्ट बट I completely disagreed that they totally outperformed Australia in session by session every day.
I think it's. I mean, it's true to say that Bangladesh would likely have lost that game
Yep.
if Australia had won the toss. But the very fact that a Bangladeshi cricket team
Mm.
can win a game after winning a toss in
Yep.
Australia, that is already such a big step from sev- even just a couple of years ago. It's such a
Yep.
huge step.
And so convincingly and against almost uh, perfect playing 11 of Australia. I mean, they couldn't pick up better side.
Yeah, no, that's a full strength side. Yeah. Mhm.
So full marks for it. It's quite मुझे थोड़ा थोड़ा सिमिलर वाइब्स आ रही थी इस गेम से जो एमसीजी 2021 वाले गेम की तरह
This the today's game.
no first game
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah, quite similar.
first inning score almost 195 I guess 198 then Rahane century and then Tenzit century uh,
Yeah,
second inning so small target in fourth inning
yeah,
so
yeah.
quite similar
That particular test match, the conditions didn't ease up that much through the test match.
yeah
वो थोड़े even रहे थे for most of the test match.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah
Or and there was a tweet recently by, he's a mutual of mine. He's a very well learned fellow about cricket through the years. Vijay Aramugam. He was talking
yes yes
about
my mutual also
how, yeah, he was talking about how Pat Cummins just gave up at the end of this last test match. And I was like, okay, so first of all, you have to understand World Test Championship dynamics have completely changed how Test match
yes
dynamics are. So, first of all, it's important to preserve a player for the next game. But more importantly, even if that's not a consideration, Pat Cummins, you could hear him on the stump mic saying, "Let's bowl the spinner. We need to get our overs in."
Yeah.
That is a very real consideration. You are not going to defend 50. I'm sorry, you're just not going to defend 50
So
in those conditions.
I just night before that day, fourth day, we had a live session with Nikhil Bhai. So I raised this point that more than winning or losing, my only concern that how much point Australia are going to lose with this over rate,
Yeah.
because the 2021 cycle they missed the WTC final due to this only, not by Gaba test losing. But
Absolutely. It's like tournament play essentially at that point of time.
correct.
How you view, how do you view things that happen in a World Cup game, or what happens there? So, for example, net run rate play that happens in World Cups. So, a team is losing, they need to defend 20 runs in 10 overs, and you say, "Oh, why aren't you attacking every ball?" Well, they're not attacking every ball because they want to spread the field out and not lose as quickly as possible. That's what's
Correct.
that's what's relevant to the contest.
I mean, England is prime example for it. No, they first or second WTC cycle they did perform well, win loss ratio wise,
Yeah,
बट ओवर रेट उनका इतना बेकार था कि और वो चीज़ें दिखती नहीं एक्चुअली पॉइंट टेबल में. पीपल यूजुअली मिस दैट जो फाइनल में पहुंचा ठीक है बाकी को छोड़ देते हैं. So I think in Asians they did 2-2 with Australia, and to be honest, they played better than Australia if you take all five games.
yeah, because they kept getting better. Fair enough. I
Yes,
I, I don't mind that claim. Yeah,
या और उसके बाद भी उनके पॉइंट हर मैच में आई थिंक उन्होंने लूज किए पॉइंट
yeah.
ओवर इट से. सो इंग्लैंड इज इंग्लैंड, दे जस्ट दे डू इट फॉर ग्रेटर गुड. So उनका नहीं, बट या टोटली एग्री दैट यू कैन नॉट डिफेंड 50 60 और 70 रन्स. तो उसमें
So this used to be a thing that used to be relevant in cricket back in the day, where it's like, oh, you have 50, 60 runs. What is relevant is the message you send for the rest of the series, and it's a long series.
yeah.
So there is a message to be sent across test matches. So if you send a message over here, what's that going to do? The series is already gone. The best you can do is draw it in the next test match.
Yes.
So the message was sent in that MCG test match. If you remember that MCG test match in 2020, India came out to chase 70 runs.
Yes.
The first 10 overs, Cummins and Stark made it the most hellish experience
Yes.
because we'd
Yes.
already been bowled out for 36 a few
That's
days
why I
ago.
rate that Shubman Gill inning one of the finest inning.
Yeah, because he just creamed it on the dries.
Yeah.
He played so well. He sort of calmed the
They
nerves
didn't show
down.
any nerves. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Totally agree.
you just been bowled out with 36 a few days ago, and if
Yeah.
I remember, Agarwal got out in the first 2 3 overs itself. Stark got
Yes. Yes.
him.
Yes. Pujara also
Yeah,
I think got out quickly.
yeah, and from that position, anyone would be like, "Oh shit!"
Yes. Yes. Yes.
if we win with only 4 or 5 wickets in hand,
Hmm.
that sends a message that oh they barely got over the line, and they take
Psychological
that in.
impact. Yeah, it's a huge thing.
Yeah,
Totally agreed. So
and
this is
Cummins gave his best over there.
hmm,
So it's clearly a thing where it matters what the context is.
true. लोग थोड़ा मिस कर देते हैं, मतलब कई बार नॉस्टैल्जिया और उसके चक्कर में मतलब ये माइनर बट क्रूशियल थिंग्स की डायनामिक्स कैसे चेंज हो गए हैं.
Yeah.
If Australia had dished a similar deck like previous test, then would it been tougher for Australia?
For today's match,
Yep. I'm
uh,
assuming.
if Australia had, they would still have bowled. I mean, okay, we're basically saying what would have happened if Australia had bowled first in that test match, right? Basically. So, one thing I noticed for this particular test match was that what's his face? Stark was in better rhythm. Stark was landing it better than he was in the first test match. Now, obviously, it's a combination of various things. So, in the first test match, what's it called? You're trying a bit hard for wickets. You're over trying. You're trying too many things.
Also, you're
But
coming after a long break,
correct.
so it takes
So,
some time to get your rhythm.
but what I'm saying is, he looked better in this game, and he might have been just as good in the last game. But the thing was, the scoreboard pressure was not there, and he was
Yes.
trying hard, trying for wickets. And so, क्या कहते हैं? If Australia had bowled first over here and the conditions had been similar to the first test, they would have bowled Bangladesh out for about 150, 160, I would expect. Because the first test conditions may have been a bit more hospitable to Bangladesh. So this particular test match, the pitch we have today, it's bouncing a bit more and it's a bit faster.
Mhm.
And what's it called? It's not the fact that well, it is now consistently bouncing higher and faster than the first test match. But to start this particular day, it was a bit uneven in pace and carry. So occasionally it was flying through at high pace and high bounce, but occasionally it was staying low. And that makes it doubly hard for the Bangladeshi batsman because sometimes it's like sometimes you're at the Waka and sometimes you're back, on a normal pitch. So it's like it's demonic for them. That's why they couldn't score any runs. They were like, what do we even attack with any degree of confidence?
Right.
Plus, the ball was swinging a lot today. So, Queensland is the tropical state of Australia. And so it tends to swing around a bit more there, as far as I know. The Gabba swings early with the new ball. There's a lot of new ball assistance. That's why they say you should pitch it up at the Gabba. Um, so, I mean, yeah, today was the perfect combination of things that Bangladesh would not like versus this attack.
So, but few words for Stark, especially I mean recent few series.
Yeah, he's taken the step up. He's become a world class test match fast bowler now. At first, he was clearly the third best in a three-man attack, and sort of against top sides, he would be sort of a relief bowler, relief for the opposition. That is, but now he has become a top tier bowler. Yeah, absolute top of the line. Yeah,
I think people sometimes miss that when he started his career. So right after a few years, I think 13, 14, when Ryan Harris, Michelle Johnson, these guys left the scene.
yeah,
So very young age, he becomes the leader of the pace attack.
yeah. For a couple of years
Yes,
until
and
Cummins
he did
back comes back.
phenomenally well. I think that the same series which Herath and Smith 2016. I think this is the
Yeah,
by
yeah.
far the best overseas series for any fast bowler in this century.
Yeah, it's definitely the best overseas performance I've seen in Sri Lanka by a fast bowler.
Yeah. So
But
and
not even
then
close. Yeah.
yes, so he did quite well few years, and then with Cummins resurgence and Hazelwood here and there, he took a backseat. Then, but from last few years again, yeah, he got his mojo back,
Yeah.
especially after giving up this T20 format.
Yeah.
So let's see how. And the thing is, मतलब हमेशा मैं astonished रहता हूँ कि it's quite comes natural with him that he without any like with Archer without any problem he keep producing 90 miles per hour. Today I think he's bowling 9 or 10th overs of his spell and he produced 148 click.
Hmm.
So this is I mean I haven't seen any fast bowler even likes of you can name it like Shoaib Akhtar or barring
Brett.
Shane Bond because Shane Bond is exceptional and uh, with injuries, but no other bowler I have seen that after playing 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
Right now it is 17 year, right? Debut in
Brett Lee did that, but he was not able to play test matches often after 2008.
yes, yes, correct, correct, correct. And Brett Lee career also was 13 year, I guess, 99 debut and he retired in 2012.
Mm.
So first of all, you find very rare uh, extreme fast bowler playing more than 15 years.
Yeah.
So he Stark is in his 17 year
Hmm.
career. So that itself is phenomenal.
Hmm.
So and another similar southpaw. So this Shoriful, a few words for him.
Oh, he was incredible today. He's really good.
Bangladesh pace attack. I think Nahid Rana grabbed the attention from the world, but even apart from Nahid, they had assembled really good bowling core.
Yeah. He bowled fairly good lengths today. He One of the good things with Shoriful is he's very comfortable coming both over and around the wicket.
Yeah,
So that's one of the things I picked up from the very early years he came onto the scene. So with fast bowlers, there's usually a preference for either of them, but he's equally adept at both sides, and
and
he's equally
developed now wobble also, I guess.
yeah, he has the complete toolkit. So
Hmm.
the thing is, he has the complete toolkit. This is not a I'm not trying to be harsh by saying this. I'm being accurate by saying this. None of the things in his toolkit are at the very top levels, But the fact that they're all there and he can pull them out at any point of time that he wants,
Yeah.
that makes him a very incisive package.
And his journey is so incredible. I think uh, he got inspired by this Fizz debut series in 2015 when Fizz took two 5 wicket haul against India back to back.
Ah, acha.
So at that time, he was I think 14 or 15 years. So he wasn't
Uh-huh.
playing cricket by that time.
Acha.
Then next year, I think he got by one. I'm forgetting the name, some Alamgir Kabir or something. तब उसने क्रिकेट खेलना प्रोफेशनली शुरू करा 15-16 साल की एज में एंड वो जहाँ रहता है गांव में तो ही यूज टू ट्रैवल आई थिंक हाफ एन आवर और 1 आवर इन साइकिल तब वहाँ जाके इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आती थी वहाँ जाके टीवी पे मैच देखता था वो
Acha.
एंड फ्रॉम देयर ही देन बिकेम आई थिंक हाईएस्ट विकेट टेकर इन अंडर 19 वर्ल्ड कप जो जीते थे वो
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
और
remember.
उससे भी पहले आई थिंक 2018 में आई रिमेम्बर सम ही एंड रिशाद द लेग स्पिनर नो रिशाद both
Uh-huh.
emerged in Asia Cup under 19 Asia Cup. So उसी टाइम टिप किया था I forgetting the name some the local reporter.
Isam.
No, Isam is not local. Isam is the cricket info guy. Some other some Azam or something. So उसने लिखा था कि under 19 Asia Cup में these guys for future and both guys I think Rishad is also very rare from Bangladesh perspective. Both
Yeah.
are I think he ये भी 6'3" का है 6'15" का
Mhm.
full and Rishad is also quite tall guy.
Yeah.
So every you take Hassan Mahmood, Nahid Rana, Ibadat, every guy journey. Today I was quite disappointed by Taskin, but
Yeah.
even across all formats in last few years he also done tremendous job.
Mhm.
Bangladesh bowling is we were talking about this with Nikhil भाई that कि 20 23 25 सालों से उन्होंने नहीं टूर किया और आई थिंक नेक्स्ट 12 मंथ्स में दे आर गोइंग टू टूर इंग्लैंड एंड साउथ अफ्रीका आल्सो
Mhm.
सो बहुत राइट टाइम पे उनका ही आया साइकिल
Mhm.
they had all tools in their kit.
Ooh.
When in department also they had Taijul and Mehdi is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
good. So
Uh-huh.
their batting core is भी पहले से not the best but
Where else are they going? They're going to England next year, right?
yes
For it's a one-off test, right?
yes one of test. अभी तो I think वो home पे ही I think South Africa को host करेंगे I guess.
I think that could be a one-all.
Yeah.
I
So,
wonder what pitches they'll make for South Africa, because the issue for a South Asian team, especially for them now, is that South Africa also have good spinners and
South
they
Africa
also
had
have good
everything.
pacers.
South Africa had
Yeah,
everything.
there's no single dimension where you can be like, we'll catch them out over here.
Yeah, with Rabada and this guy. What is the name?
Jans
I'm forgetting.
Jansen.
Jensen. So bounce, pitch, grassy, everything they have.
Uh huh.
So okay. The will Marnus still stay after this test?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm also not sure. Maybe second inning में hopefully इतना कुछ रहना नहीं चाहिए उसका करने के लिए. Otherwise game will be tricky. So if you're
थोड़ा तो
green,
करना पड़ेगा मुझे लगता है. नंबर 3 पे बैट करता है ना, they'll set a target.
हाँ तो मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ कितना ज़्यादा टारगेट ना मिले.
हाँ, ज़्यादा नहीं मिलेगा. I don't think. My best case scenario is that we end the game tomorrow itself, before
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
India match starts.
Okay. Yeah. So pragmatism of people like Cummins is often mistaken for indifference. ये किसके लिए
Yeah.
था? अच्छा वो जो आप विजयारंगम वाली बात कर रहे थे.
Yeah.
Okay. Objective is reaching final WC by cutting your losses like managing over it. So be it correct.
Yeah.
Stark is a unicorn at his age. No one is enforcer of the attack while clocking 19 miles per hour. Yes,
Yeah.
true. So now he's cutting his numbers also. I think he's now in 26 odd. So if he close
What is
below
it now?
20,
26-2, 26-1.
26.2 or 3 something.
Okay.
And strike rate is now I think below 46.
Mm.
So that is phenomenal, I guess. Now nobody has taken more wicket than him in world cricket with a better strike rate because he has crossed Dale Steyn.
Ah.
So
Dale Steyn का कितना था? 41, 39,
439 with I think 42.7 if I remember correctly.
42.7.
Yes, 42
No,
points.
Rabada is 39.
Rabada
Rabada is
is
39.
Rabada. So
Uh-huh.
in couple of seasons, yeah, he will be the numero uno. But then Wakar was there, 43 odd, 43. But मतलब अभी रबाडा से आएगा तो वकार होगा विकेट टैली में.
Uh,
And then Strain 46. I think मार्शल का भी इतना है 46.7 I guess.
47 है उसका, हाँ.
46.7. So उस टाइम पे 46 वो अपने आप में that time you have to bowl so much overs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How many can Bangladesh win versus West Indies plus English at home out of 4? They need 5 wins for WTC amazing if they can get even close. West Indies, so I think you would expect to win.
Wait, my brain has shut off. I have to read the question. How many can Bang win versus VI plus staying at home out of four? Um, if I had to guess, I would expect them to win two.
Hmm.
Best case scenario, if somehow things go exceptionally well, is three, but that's very, very long shot.
Hmm.
I think two is a reasonable result for them.
But I think West Indies and Bangladesh, both teams are very unpredictable. So, you, especially with the recent performance, so you cannot take West Indies also lightly.
Yeah.
The American and all, so spin track मिलेगा तो भी, and they have also quite good pace attack.
Yeah.
बैटिंग में थोड़ा है, मुझे लगता है कि बांग्लादेश वुड एज देम स्पेशली एट होम.
Yeah.
बट इंग्लैंड से भी देखना वो होगा कि इंग्लैंड किसको सिलेक्ट करते हैं एज ए स्पिनर, बिकॉज प्रीवियसली लीच वाज फिनोमिनल फॉर देम इन सब कॉन्टिनेंट. नाउ राइट नाउ आई एम नॉट श्योर हु दे आर गोइंग टू पिक. सो जब इंग्लैंड की बात कर रहे हैं, सो यू वॉच दिस इंग्लैंड पाकिस्तान गेम.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you must be quite very happy with this fast bowling display.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very happy.
So
I
what's
mean, I have always, I think England have been shooting themselves in the foot for a very long period of time.
hmm,
They have the resources to be a top tier test team.
yeah, but they're not
They,
giving the familiar wickets to them.
yes, and also they're shooting themselves in the foot by not getting the best out of their resources,
Hmm.
and also with all the nonsense they do behind the scenes. So after the first test, I'll be honest in my assessment. Even at the end of the New Zealand England series, I thought at the end of it, my conclusion was England are the better test team. After that first test match, they absolutely self-destructed behind the scenes.
Yep.
Stokes went out, Atkinson went out.
Hmm.
I mean, Robinson's fitness failing itself, that's not a thing that you can wash away. But they shot themselves in the foot,
True.
essentially.
And especially against the New Zealand like team who always punch above their weight.
Correct. If you show any weakness to them,
Hmm.
they will be there to take advantage of it.
No, no, totally एक डैम. मैं तो काफी बड़ा वोकल रहा हूँ कि जब जितना लोग मजाक उड़ाते हैं इंग्लैंड का, तो resources wise, skill wise, they always will. So like even the India where they lost by 4-1 or Australia, so जैसे बोलते हैं ना जो मोरल विक्ट्री वो बोलते हैं, तो थोड़ा बहुत कुछ है कि वो करते हैं परफॉर्म.
Yeah.
How come Jordan Cox made it to number 3 in a test? Jordan Cox was doing
He averages 43 in first class cricket, and his average is like
almost 6.
70,
Yes,
70,
yeah,
70 in the last couple of years.
correct. So he's killing
I
it.
I I I don't think he's ideally suited to number three. I think he's more of a middle order, lower middle order batsman.
But
But
to whom they can be
his
playing? Yeah.
yeah, but just give me a second.
Okay, so still Dudley came now.
No, but his game looked in very good order to me. I mean, his
Yeah,
square of the wicket play was very, very good.
correct. So yeah, so we were talking about the bowling
His
display.
judgment of length to spin was very sus. I didn't like his judgment of length versus spin, but he's
Hmm.
an English batsman. What do you expect? Um,
Yeah. So how do you like this resurgence of Ollie Robinson?
Oh yeah, he's leveled up. So I made a post about this. I don't know if you've seen it. So when he
I
first came
haven't.
onto the scene in 2021, he was
India won
primarily, yeah,
78
India,
almost.
India and New Zealand that summer. He debuted versus New Zealand at Lords, I believe.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong. So during that summer, he was he had two. I mean, he had a wide toolkit, but he was primarily he had two primary weapons. One was the outswinger,
Crowd singer.
and the other was his. It was between a wobble and a scramble seam. It was a larger wobble, and he would bowl basically in seam deliveries which would break like off breaks into the batsman. They would land outside off stump, and with the height that he has, they would break into the batsman
Nip backer.
and nip backers. Sorry, I was looking for that phrase. They had nip backers, huge nip backers with a sort of semi scrambled seam, which would really break back into the batsman. And you can go and check Cahill Rahul's thighs.
Kind
They
of,
must
if you remember, like how the Praveen Kumar used to bowl.
without the bounce and without
Yes,
the swing
yes,
into the
yes, yes.
batsman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was how he primarily operated back then. But if you see now, he has this wobble seam ball, which with very subtle changes, he can make it go in either direction almost at will and almost alternated one delivery to the other. And so that just makes you an otherworldly threat because you already are tall and you can seam it big. And now you can seam it big in both directions at will and in quick succession. That's just, I mean, that's monstrously hard to play.
So do you think that he's
Um,
the guy who they really miss in this last Ashes?
yeah, yeah. They missed him. He would have been an exceptional new ball threat for them. But at the same time, I do not like the people. I, I don't dislike the people who are saying it, but I don't like the fact that people are saying that England made.
No,
I
this
mean,
is completely hypothetical. I think he himself ruled him out.
correct. The
Yeah.
thing is, I don't think England were in error to
Yep.
take to kick him out of the system because they had very valid reasoning for it.
Correct. Correct.
So
Correct.
their reasoning was you have been losing pace in your second and third spells. You do not have the fitness to last a full game.
Mm.
And on top of all of this, the worst part is you have not shown enough desire to change these things while
Yep.
you were in our system. While you were part of our team management, you did not show signs that you were willing to change any of these things. That is completely justifiable reasons for a team management to throw a player out.
Yep.
Well, not throw a player out, but to
And
keep them
after
out.
that, because I think Jan Fab Ashes was there, then this county season also he showed very good performances in
Correct.
county. So that
Correct.
makes change the things.
In terms of how he has been selected and how he's been left out, England have been completely reasonable on that front.
Yes, yes, yes.
There is, I have no complaints with England on that front.
Totally agreed. And it's not like that they had some other poor bowling options.
That's what
So
I'm saying. Like the thing that it comes down to in the Ashes was not who they selected and who they left out of the squad, because even the Anderson one was justifiable.
yes,
It's what they got out of the resources that they did take over there.
correct.
Once you took those resources, you got nothing out of them. Like just like 30 to 40% of their potential.
Hmm. I think Mark Wood was only that the मतलब उसमें हमेशा था कि ये hit और miss हो सकता है.
Yeah, that was a contentious selection, and I think Tung should have started over him. That was my selection for the first Test match. That Tung should have started over him.
Tongue, a few words for Tongue, because I think he's the guy who's doing exceptionally well in every game.
Yeah, he's really good. I don't think so. I think from the second innings of the Oval Test match through the 100, the 2025 season of the 100, up till the Ashes, he had hit an absolute peak where not only was he a threat, which he usually is, but his control had also gotten to a very good place. He's even in white ball cricket, he's executing Yorkers. He already gets good dip on his slower balls and good what's it called, turn off the pitch on his slower balls. So for a period of time, he was truly a world. I mean, he is a world class talent, but he was he was absolutely elite for a period of time. I think he's fallen off slightly. I think his control has fallen back into his usual levels since the start of this season.
The
But
last
he's
game
still.
of New Zealand was the only game in his career after his debut game where he couldn't pick a wicket in any inning.
Mm, yeah, no,
I
he
think he
was.
was wicketless in both innings, I guess. The
I
last game.
I noted it that in the Trent Bridge Test match on day one, on what is the flattest pitch of that series, um, he was completely off his pace. He was
Mm,
bowling early 130s. There was no zip to his bowling. There was no threat in his bowling, and there was no control.
yeah.
On that first day, he was. And I think the control was not that bad. It's not terrible, but essentially what I'm saying is when they needed him most to be at his sharpest, because they had already overworked him so much. And the reason that they had to overwork him was they had to pick him for the second test match because they didn't have Atkinson and Stokes.
Mm.
So that's the thing. They have been shooting themselves in the foot, and not just once, they've been shooting the same spot 5 to 6 times in a row to just amplify any error
And
that they
still they're
have.
not realizing it.
I mean, that the management they have was just shambolic by that point of time.
Let's see with Fleming things change.
Hopefully, yeah, there are
Rob Key
doubts.
is still there though.
Who?
Rob Key.
Acha, yeah. No, he's running a terrible
I
ship.
mentioned a couple of times few months back when even before this Jantar Mantar protest that Dharmendra Pradhan will resign for sure, but Rob Key will not is not going anywhere.
Uh-huh.
He's going to stay. So yeah, and few words for your and mine also the favorite guy Archer. I think he's also now found his groove in Test cricket.
Yeah, I mean, I always expected him to. I mean, there is no world in which he's a 30 plus average test
Yes,
match
yes,
bowler.
yes.
He's a he's not a elite test match bowler. I don't think he's a sub 25 or even a sub 26 average test
Now
match
he's
bowler. He's a
close to that, I
27
guess.
average test.
28, I guess. No, it's current average.
Yeah, he's a 27 average test match
Mm.
bowler. But yeah, he's delivering somewhere close to his best results. I mean, he can still get
Yeah.
better. So there's still things he can get better at.
And it's more
Um,
important how
a number
the
of
management and especially with Root being captain, they are going to use him
Yeah, they used him well in this test match.
because they have
So
other resources
in this,
also, and the opposition is also not uh, so potent.
not the
Yes,
highest
yes,
quality. It's not gonna tax
yes.
him too
So
much.
at
So they used him well this test match. I'll detail some of the things that they did in this
yeah,
test match. So in the first innings, so I'm not sure if you're aware, Archer has been playing through the year. He played their white ball games in Sri
yes,
Lanka. He played
IPL,
their T20 World Cup. He played the
untied,
IPL. Then he came from the IPL. Then he played the 100 for them. He played the Test matches for them. So and they played all their white ball games for
yeah,
them in against India. All of their white ball
correct.
games, right? Like he missed just the
Archer
first
and Tang
T20.
both are playing everywhere.
And the reason that they played that is, I'll also mention this, is because Harry Brook is auditioning for
Yeah,
captaincy, right? And so he wanted to win those series against India to show that, hey, I am someone who is worth taking the test captaincy, and the system and the public can trust
mm,
me. And so, there's the incentive there to bring out their fast bowlers, which again you can view as it's not questionable management, but it's like it is management to suit the needs of one particular individual. And I understand it, and I don't condemn it, but it is something to note, right? And so what I'm saying is Archer has been doing this format jumping pretty much through the year. And so at the end of the 100, he was really struggling with his front foot landing. His ankle was really troubling him, I
okay.
think. And so by the last game, they had to pull him out of the 100 because what team was he playing for? Southern
No, I
Brave,
missed
right?
actually 100.
By
I
that point of time, they were
told you,
knocked
no?
out. They were knocked out by that point of time. So they rested him from the last game. But the game before that, he was really struggling with his fitness. And so in this particular test match, in the first spell, in the very first 2 overs, it's very obvious that he was struggling with his fitness and he's not getting his lines and lengths
Mm,
correct. And so, for example, Shan Masood was at the crease, and throughout the test match, they were coming around the wicket and trying to pin him LBW because he gets all the way across
Hmm.
his off stump. And he takes an off stump guard. And so Archer was trying to pin him LBW, and it was not even within a stump set on the leg side when he was where he was getting
Hmm.
through at the point of batsman. So he's really struggling with where he was sending the ball down. Broad also noticed that he was struggling in this run up, and so immediately two
He
overs
removed
into
their
the
move.
spell, they took him out of the
Yes.
attack. They said, Atkinson, you come and
Yeah.
replace him. So doesn't tax him too much, and also lets him
And
build
ironically,
himself into the
if
game.
somebody is watching the game from a scorecard, he will be surprised because I think he both first overs maiden.
Yeah, yeah.
So somebody will,
That was the funniest
yeah,
part. Yeah.
maiden, but still
They were the
spraying every
two
all
worst
over.
maidens you can
Yeah,
imagine. Yeah. Yeah, they were either 3 feet outside Imam ul Haq's off
yeah.
stump, or they were 2 feet outside Shan Masood's leg stump.
Correct. Very very well made
Um,
point.
yeah, so क्या कहते हैं?
But in
And that
second
again,
innings,
that by
he
the way,
found his rhythm.
that's a flexibility of this particular attack. So from the Ashes, near the end of the Ashes, if you remember, it felt like they had no new ball options. To now, they can say, Archer, okay, you had two bad overs. Don't worry, we have another new ball bowler. You can just get in from the other end. Atkinson,
Yeah,
just come.
I think Atkinson is going under the radar, but guy is doing almost very consistent since his debut.
Yeah, he's quite good. Yeah,
And he's also like how we have discussed about cars a few times back, that both guys surprised that I was not expecting them to come this good on international level.
Cars in 2021 was a very he I
And
didn't at that point of time he they said that he was a pick based on his
mm,
attributes, much like a lot of their picks over the last few years, like Josh Hull have been on
yeah,
attributes.
Decker.
I saw Cars and he didn't look a international quality
Mm.
bowler in 2021. He is now an international quality bowler.
So, and right now they have at least 6 to 7 really good international quality bowlers, pace bowlers.
Yeah, no. If you looked at the 100 this
Mm.
year and you saw the fastest bowlers in the 100, the top five fastest bowlers were all
English.
English. And this is despite having four overseas and a number of top quality bowlers
Yeah.
playing.
And this we are not counting the old guns like Sam Cook or Jamie Porter, who was killing it on county level.
Yeah,
All 35 plus guys.
yeah. No, English cricket, if they can get the best out of the players that they have at hand, and especially with the young batting talent that's coming through, they can be. I mean, Australia, unfortunately, I'm going to be brutally honest, is they're going to leave a void. And so there is a void to be filled of what's going to be the next top test team in the world over the next 3 to 4 years. India have what it takes to fill that void. England have what it takes, and South Africa may have what it takes. Those are the three teams
I
that
think South Africa is
going
already
forward.
almost there.
Yeah, South Africa is there. It's to be seen how long they're able to sustain
Mm.
this.
Yeah. New Zealand also you never know because they also have pretty good bowling attack. So with batting they might struggle.
Yeah, yeah. And also like the bowling attack, I don't know how durable they are. But that's the issue with the England one
Hmm.
too.
But Australia also, I could be, what could be, I'm definitely I'm biased, but being Australia, they will find a way.
Yeah, I don't think they'll become a terrible test team, but they'll be a period
Yeah.
lull for a few years at least. I
Well, I
feel.
have survived the 2010, 2012, and 2014, 2016 era. So
Yeah,
I don't think it would be more bad than that. So now that Renshaw did not score, will Australia drop Renshaw? Whether should have played both the tests.
I mean that exact dismissal that happened
Hmm.
today was almost exactly what was happening in where did he play? Bangladesh against these same bowlers earlier this year. जब
ODIs,
बांग्लादेश में
ODIs,
ODIs
yeah.
हुए थे. Yeah, yeah. He moves right across his stump. All his movements are laterally across the
Hmm.
crease. And so he's essentially trying to work it towards the leg side to score all of his runs. And so, yeah, I mean, there was you could have seen that dismissal coming against new ball movement. He's not the best. I mean, I don't know what options they have to
But I
work
think
with.
he's the guy who has shown improvement across all formats in recent times. And like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mentioned about cars and all, they have picked him on attributes. He has a
yeah, yeah.
temperament, and
He,
sometimes you have to
he
pick
has the
between bad
innings.
and worse.
Yeah, he has the innings building
Yep.
temperament, and he's a good
And with
player of spin.
Vedran
I
also,
want
I
to.
think Australia is one team that uh, they showed quite a good amount of faith. Like you can see with Carey, Green, and other players. But Vedran, it's not that less number of runs, but his he yes,
How?
correct, correct.
Yeah.
So it didn't show any like how a top order batter should play.
No. I usually you're like, okay, so if you selected a player and you drop them after one game, that reflects poorly on your judgment. But in this case, you see something in the one
Yes,
game that he does play where you're
correct.
like, holy shit, you're not international
Yeah,
quality in the
I mean, it
slightest.
goes. I mean, it could be hard that like how we have seen with likes of Kambli or Bevan in past, no, that
Yeah.
we cannot blame selectors what they have seen on international level, even though after that these guys have proved themselves on first class level. But this is like that. Or recent example like Karun Nair, you can take.
Yeah.
So no matter how good you are, but what you are doing on international that matters.
Yeah. And I understand them picking him for this one game because they were like, oh, he's made some technical changes, he's made runs in county cricket. What if it succeeds in international
Yeah.
cricket? Then they see him, what he does in international cricket in one game, they're like,
Hmm.
okay, no, this will
So,
not work.
do you think that that could be a better option to move Marnus with Head as opener and bring?
I mean,
Uh,
Head shouldn't be
yes,
opener,
Head shouldn't be opener. Head shouldn't
ideally.
be opener. That's I'm saying from day one, from when he scored century in first Ashes game.
Yeah, no, and people were praising it at the time, and I was like, you're going to find out.
Yes, but now I think this is unavoidable at least for time being. So he will
Yeah.
open, and since BGT is coming, so anyway in Asia he's going to open.
Yeah, in Asia, he should
Yes,
open.
so I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to do lot shifting, but I think Marnus could be a better option to open to bring Renshaw in middle order. Now I'm not sure whether
Yeah.
Marnus will play again or not.
At least Green is playing well. Green is really playing
Yes,
well
Green. I think Green also
in
with
this.
player. People are very harsh on him just because. I think Gerard said a few times back that with all rounder you have to give time.
Yeah.
So there's a big investment, and if you see his, the guy has played almost three, four, five, six, seven, fling
Yeah.
everywhere. And if you see his number, specifically between 4 to 6, 4, 5, 6, so close to 40, he's averaging 38 or 39. So
Uh
this is
huh.
not a bad average in this period. And
Yeah, especially with the pitches they're rolling out in
correct,
Australia.
correct, correct. So his overseas average, I think 46 in the
Yeah.
same batting position. So that is
Yeah.
pretty good. The only problem with me that he's a very the same with Marnus these days. That very nervous starter.
Yeah, but this is something I
Today,
noticed
today for
today.
a change.
I
Today for a change.
I tweeted about it. He was very assured
Yes,
today.
yes, yes. I think the Smith being other end make things helpful for him.
Yeah, perhaps confidence from runs in the last
Yes, and
game.
also that since you
Uh,
are trailing only 64, so,
yeah, well, yes.
so what where he can do. But yeah, hopefully, and this series could in after that's like with Callis we say no that 101 in MCG is his career defining inning 1997
Yeah,
104.
yeah.
This is a disclaimer that just because I took the name of Callis, it's not with that uh, I'm comparing him with Callis. Why hasn't Marnus improved on the technical issues which Ponting brought up over the last 2 years? This Marnus can only know, but then I think both dismissal in last game and today is very soft dismissal. So
Yeah.
last game में तो सारा tough work करके वो out हो गया. Why don't they give a
Mm.
chance to Bancroft? I mean, he's not that bad.
बुढ़ा नहीं हो गया वो?
Problem with them, no, that all the potential options like have Handscom is doing quite good, but he's a middle order batter, and he might come in for BGT in playing squad.
Yeah,
But he's also I think
yeah,
35, so Bancroft
yeah.
is also I guess same age. So
Mhm.
like Sam Contrast you will find among youngster, or Patterson, Curtis Patterson. He's also 30ish, but uh,
Campbell Callaway, I've heard
Campbell
of
Kelly,
him.
yeah, but I think थोड़ा early हो जाएगा. Uh,
Yeah.
few seasons also he might take. Uh, for lower order, they might have some options like Fergus O'Neill or this guy who got
Oliver Peaks.
no. He got
He's too young.
debut in this Pakistan or Bangladesh guy, Liam Scott. Liam
Acha.
Scott. He's I'm very hopeful for him. So, but these all are similar like Webster Green, Liam Scott. So they are all fighting for same role.
Medium pace all
Yes,
rounder. Yeah.
medium pace or off spin all rounders. So, but the top order is a problem right now. They don't have, and this is the problem I was raising when that Khwaja is going to retire. They won't have a single opener, so they will have to find two openers. So, and head success was at number five. So, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Pant or Brook. So,
The old ball is especially important here in
hmm,
Australia.
so let's see. Okay, I think we have talked enough more than 1 hour. Anything?
You can't be Sehwag in the conditions Australia are rolling
Yes,
out
yes,
these
yes. So
days.
people take Sehwag.
They're the only reason why not the only reason, but the major reason why Head worked in the Ashes was because England bowled absolutely awfully with a new
Hmm,
ball. Right? That's the major contributing
true.
factor.
Yeah. So anything else you wanted to discuss or mention?
No, I actually have to leave soon.
Sorry.
I actually have to
Yeah.
leave.
So that's what I was going to say because we have already talked more than 1 hour. So we are good to wrap it up. So thanks
Perfect.
a lot. Thanks everyone, and hopefully we will come back more frequently. So this I will sort it out deeply, and will come with other stuff also apart from live sessions. So अभी के लिए एंड करते हैं. तब तक के लिए स्वस्थ रहिए, मस्त रहिए, व्यस्त रहिए.